Today, I'm excited to announce the launch of the WISE and IIE Global Research Consortium on AI, higher education, and the workforce. This initiative is a partnership between the World Innovation Summit for Education, or WISE, and the International Institute of Education, IIE, in collaboration with 7 leading universities from every corner of the globe.
Welcome back to Wise on Air, the show where we talk to the world's leading minds on the future of education. My name is Bassem Hijazi, producer of the show. Who you just heard in that soundbite was Director of Research at WISE, Salma Talha Jibril, announcing WISE and IIE's Global Research Consortium, an ambitious initiative bringing together 6 leading institutions from across the world to explore how artificial intelligence is reshaping higher education and workforce development. From Ghana to Kazakhstan, India to Colombia, and the United States to Spain, these researchers are examining critical questions about AI's integration into curricula, its impact on teaching and learning, and how higher education can better prepare students for an AI-powered future. Their work will culminate in what promises to be one of the most comprehensive global studies on AI in higher education to date. And over the course of the next few months, the consortium will produce 6 detailed case studies, a global report, a white paper, and a policy brief, all aimed at providing actionable insights for education leaders worldwide. These findings will be presented at the WISE 12 Summit from the 24th to the 25th of November 2025, offering a roadmap for institutions navigating the integration of AI in higher education. Join me as we explore the various dimensions of this research initiative and get a glimpse of how different regions are approaching the opportunities and challenges that AI presents to our learning.
I'm Natalia Lara, professor and researcher at Camilo José Cela University, part of the Education Group. We are in Madrid and we are collaborating in all this consortium that we are having here. What I do at the university is teach how to use tech with teachers from kindergarten to university, and also how to research in education. So I think both areas combines of the use with AI and all the opportunities that we are having right now with these tools.
How is your institution integrating AI into its curriculum and practices, and what unique challenges or opportunities have you encountered in the country that you're operating in?
It's a huge question because we have also at university different approaches at the level of the university, because the university is composed by 4 faculties. So at the level at the university, we were part of the Global Education Forum that was held by the SEC Education Group. And also at the university level, we have the Learning Innovation Department that is creating also different training activities for teachers to show them and also present different case of uses about how they can use AI in their lessons. And also they create a community for the people at SEC Education Group to understand better and be actualized about what is happening with AI, because as you may know, everything is going so fast and we need to keep updating and also to give the students the best ideas and the latest versions of the tools that we are using to that part. So that is at university level, and at faculty level also we are promoting different projects funded by the research department at university. At the level of faculty, we have in the Faculty of Technology a degree in robotics and AI in the 2nd year of implementation, and also in the Faculty of Education, we have some students that request last year to learn more about AI and how they are going to be able to use it in academia activities or work that teachers request for them. So they are creating a community and teachers are supporting as mentors in that community that they create to learn more about how they are going to be able to use AI. And all the challenges that we are facing are several ones, because we have students that are refused to use AI in some points. So we need to promote the use, teach them how to use it, show the different benefits and what is the risks that may have this AI. But if you know the risks or the bias that you may have using the tools, it's not a problem to use them. Also, we have students that came to the lessons and so the teachers that they are using the latest version and the latest options of the AI that they can use, so you can learn about what the students is using AI in their work. And also at the level of the teacher, we have also different levels, and we saw that some teachers need more training on digital competencies. It's just how to link this kind of activities with the activities that they actually create for this subject.
I am Jagatsesh Challa. I'm an assistant professor at Birla Institute of Technology and Science, Pilani, which is in short form BITS Pilani, India. It is located in northern part of India and it's one of the premier institutes of our country. So AI is seamless, it's all pervading. Every student uses AI, every teacher also is trying to use AI. From teachers' perspective, we are trying to explore the options wherein we leverage the AI tools to improve our teaching strategies. At the same time, we also want to make sure that AI does not kill the creativity of students. That is something which we are looking at.
My name is William Jimenez. I'm an associate professor at Universidad de los Andes, which is based in Bogota, Colombia. In Universidad de los Andes, I think there are two different approaches to integrating AI into our curriculum. There are some top-down approaches. There's an offices for digital transformation at the university level that it's aiming to produce policy and give tools to faculty, students, and administrators to develop skills they need. From the bottom-up level, there are also initiatives in different faculties and from different faculty members towards and innovation towards offering different solutions to this challenge, to the use of AI. What challenges are we facing? I think there is a resistance to change from probably some of the people in our community. A little bit of fear on the challenges that AI represent, and I would also mention for some of our students the fear of the obsolescence. There is many people have trained with earlier tools already finding out that they're not up to date.
Okay, so my name is Joseph Kwame Ajay. So I'm currently with Ashesi University. Ashesi University is a private university in Ghana with a global focus. Currently, we are based in a town called Brekuso, which is very close to Accra, but on the mountains. It's a very, very beautiful campus with a multinational faculty and students. Basically, what we are doing is that there's different levels of integration of AI in education in Ashesi. So when it comes to the students, their capstone is mainly one of the things that is AI focused. So we look at the SDGs, various SDGs, and then students decide to try to address some of the problems and the challenges that they feel that they can use AI to address. So for instance, projects that come into my mind currently is like the use of AI in preventing post-harvest losses. And then other students are also using AI to help in the academic counselor, in be able to offering more effective counseling services to the students. Yeah. And there are several other projects about AI, using AI to really, in sports, to really try to attract the quality talent. For instance, the pass rates and several statistics that human mind cannot, or human eye cannot really catch. They're using AI to do all those things, yeah.
My name's Elaine Sharplin, and I'm the General Director for the Centre of Innovation in Learning and Teaching, and also Professor of Education at Nazarbayev University in Astana, the capital city of Kazakhstan. It's our pleasure to be partnering with WISE on this project, part of the consortium to examine AI in higher education. Our university is a highly internationalised, independent university in Central Asia. We have 7,000 students, 500 faculty from over 61 different countries. Like many universities, I think the integration of AI into the curriculum at Nazarbayev University occurred in a really organic manner. It was based on the individual interests and initiatives of different faculty, those who were keeping ahead and keeping up with the innovation in technology grasped this opportunity, whilst there were many other people who, even to this day, really don't know what's happening in this area. In about 2022, October 2022, we really started to see the need for some sort of a systematic approach to what was happening. So we did a survey to find out what was going on for faculty and students, how familiar they were with AI innovation at that time, and what their concerns were. And what was particularly interesting from this small piece of research was that there was a consensus between faculty and students that two issues equally concerned them. One issue was that of integrity. There was a concern by students about not wanting to be involved in unethical conduct, but without clear definitions, they weren't sure what was allowed, what was acceptable, and what wasn't. And the second concern was really around equality, and that was students didn't want other students being advantaged or disadvantaged by using or not using AI. And that concern was shared by faculty as well. So as a consequence of that, we then set in place the development of the NU response to artificial intelligence in learning and teaching. So in terms of what's happening at NU, how much of a unique challenge do we experience? I hope this research will tell us more about that. My feeling is that many of the challenges that we are experiencing are not unique to NU. I think they're probably indicative of challenges much more broadly in higher education. One of the challenges that we're trying to tackle is how to keep the pace of AI innovation. Things are happening so fast. Many of us are not experts in this area, but we're trying to become sufficiently familiar with AI to use it in pedagogically effective ways.
So my name is Peter Eckel. I'm from the University of Pennsylvania. I'm senior fellow, and I direct our new online executive master's degree in global higher education management. We're based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Sure. So I think my sense is that the University of Pennsylvania is integrating AI very unevenly, that we're a very decentralized institution, and so with a lot of faculty autonomy and independence, and so it's really up to each individual faculty member to think about, incorporate, or not incorporate AI. I work in the Graduate School of Education, and we talk about AI. Some of my faculty colleagues have really gone after this tool and find it very useful. I think other colleagues are much more concerned that it interrupts the traditional ways of teaching it and, more importantly, of learning.
Let's move on to another question. So, in your view, how can higher education institutions like BITS Pilani best prepare students for the AI age, and what skills do you believe are the most important?
So first of all, we shouldn't hesitate from asking students to make use of AI. Many professors are doing this mistake that please don't use AI. So it's inevitable now. So AI has to be used. Now we have to train students to ethically use AI. For example, when they're doing an assignment, we have to come up with new strategies such that we have to assume that AI is available to them. And based on that, we have to design our questions in such a way that the learning experience is not damaged. The other thing is, since I am from a computer science background, we do ask students to leverage AI in coding practices so that the product building can be rapid and they can also improve upon their code writing skills. Of course, it shouldn't happen that they are overly dependent on AI. So we need to train them to judiciously use AI, at the same time not kill their creativity while coding. But AI has the potential to improve upon the speed in which technology evolves?
I think the most important skills are going to be critical thinking and those related to how to be human using technology to improve ourselves or to keep growing as humans in a society. So I think that is going to be the key point. And also, as I was conducting a previous research funded by the university, I had some insights or some context here, and I was requesting teachers what are the skills and competencies that they would think that they need with the use of AI, and teachers that are actually teaching students pointed out that the most important skills are digital competencies and how to use and implement AI in their lessons. But when I request or I asked that question to the students, it was amazing what I found, because the students were asking to improve and work skills with critical thinking and creativity. So they highlight different skills that teachers that are active, and I think students are right, because how you can use tech is something that you can learn with TikTok, YouTube, and all the resources that you already have. But how to think, how to be creative when you need to develop some work is something that is more human contact and something that you can teach to students. So I think that is going to be the key point about how to use AI in education and try to improve all these skills and competencies in the students.
So in trying to prepare a student for AI, I think we've gone past the stage where we will say that we don't want them to use AI because they are using it anyway. So from our Ashesi perspective, what they've done is that they've tried to come up with like a very easy to use AI policy at the very beginning, which is guiding the students on the ethical aspect of its use. So, and then also, we believe that faculty are also experienced in AI use. They will be able to guide the student properly. So as we speak currently, a number of training is going on campus currently for all faculty and staff on how they can integrate AI in their curriculum. So that is 2 levels. And then also AI, in terms of Ashesi is very strong on ethical issues. So their students are supposed to declare when they have, what they've used AI in when they are delivering their assignments. They have to show how they use AI, some of the prompts that they use. So these are ways of trying to ensure that the ethical aspect of the AI use is not compromised.
In order to prepare students for the future workforce, I think there's 4 particular areas that we need to focus on. The first is the ethical use of AI, and I think unless our graduates leave the university with some real clarity about the ethical implications of AI, that includes understanding issues of equity and marginalisation that AI may bring. It's also about the ethical use of AI within their practice, whatever their future employment may be. So I think they need to really understand these issues, and in order to then be able to work in the future ethically, I think we need to develop some other important skills. One of these is critical thinking. So AI is a tool, and unless you actually have the cognitive frameworks, the discipline frameworks, then you can't use this tool effectively. So we need to make sure that students are understanding when they're using AI, what it's actually doing, how they can use it in coordination with their own cognitive endeavours. Already in the last 12 months, we've heard of cases of times when students have used artificial intelligence without integrity. We've discussed this with them. Why have you used artificial intelligence in this way? Often it's from a lack of confidence in their own ability that they could do this independently without the help. So I think we really need to develop that confidence in students that if we're teaching them effectively, if they're engaging in the curriculum, if they are learning, then they can be self-sufficient in many ways. Finally, I think we need to make sure that students know how to use the tools, at what stage in a process they can be very helpful. So, for example, in one of our courses, another business course, students are really encouraged to use artificial intelligence tools to help in the decision-making process to come up with an entrepreneurial idea. So it's used to assist with brainstorming process, and then the subsequent development of that work is genuinely their own addition onto that.
So I very much think about universities from the role of administrators and governance. And so my sense is that universities are asking a lot of questions, but they don't have any answers. AI is a fast-moving topic, and I don't even think we all agree at an institutional policy level about what AI is. We use the language, we use the acronym, but I think it means a variety of different things across different disciplines and at different levels of the university. In many ways, it'll be a simple tool that will be able to allow universities, the leaders, their faculty to do what they need to do, but in slightly different, if not more efficient ways. In other situations, there's a great likelihood it's going to disrupt, if not interrupt, what we've done traditionally and really force not just faculty, but also administrators to think differently about the work they have to do. My sense, so how we're talking about it in our global higher education program, the management program, is AI is both a tool that facilitates learning, but at the same time it's a topic that those who are in this program need to know about. And so we talk about it in terms of, from the management perspective, what do university managers need to know about AI in the classroom, and what are the opportunities that it can have in the administrative arena as well.
There are some technical skills that are involved in this, in what universities can do to train their students, and some, let's say, non-technical skills. On the latter, the two main skills I think are improving critical thinking in their students, so they know when to deploy the technical skills, and the ethical education, so they know not only when to use the technical skill, but how to align it with their values and their needs. On the technical level, I think everybody's racing to find out what the latest tool is, depending on the discipline. So those technical tools depend very much on what your professional field is, being music, finance, psychology, and on that the university units have a special responsibility to identify what the right tools are.
All right, and let's move on to this question, which is an important one. What ethical considerations or potential risks do you foresee with the increased use of AI in higher education, and how is your university addressing them?
So I was mentioning before that the non-technical skills that we as universities need to foster in our students are critical thinking and ethical sensibility. I think the main challenge here on the ethical side is that the overuse of AI can stifle critical thinking. So using it widespreadly without consideration on their pertinence can actually be harmful. So what are universities doing? What's our university doing? That's, first of all, I think is striving to have a stronger emphasis on those ethical challenges, demonstrating what those challenges are. I think that's the first step, and I think it's probably the most basic one. I think everybody's trying to do it, but it's obviously in the forefront of our efforts.
But I think some of the ethical issues that I think broadly American higher education is facing, one is around data security. The second is around it changes the relationship between universities and the tech providers, that it opens many of the work that we do to third parties, which we may or may not be prepared to think about the implications. And then I think there's the differences, the inherent biases that are built into the different tools and models as well. And universities need to be aware of those elements. That's the U.S. perspective. I think as we have conversations through this global dialogue about North-South, about East-West conversations, we're going to have different variations on that same theme from people, in as diverse countries as Kazakhstan and Ghana.
I think the main concern that we have in higher education is academic integrity and plagiarism that we are having with the students. And here, instead of forbid all this use of AI, is how we can show students or teach them the best way to use AI, not to go into that ethical problems about how to use AI or copy what the AI is just giving us, and how to think or use that information, how we process information, what are the bias, and how we can use all these sources that we are using, and how to references in the work that they are doing. So I think it's going to be a hard work for teachers and institutions to show them what is plagiarism and define not rule, but like a guide for the students to show them what is going to be the best practice to ensure the quality of university and keep going with the academic work in high standard level.
There are a number of risks that when it comes to ethical consideration. For instance, plagiarism, one major issue. And then also in terms of AI, basically can be biased when it comes to the output that comes out. So AI could be biased because most of this, it's a large language model, basically. And then depending on the data that was used to train the AI, the output may be. So many times the context may be ignored. And for instance, sometimes maybe the words, the meaning of words in different may differ from language to language. So many times we need to be very much concerned about the output that comes out of AI, because may not take into consideration context. It may not take into consideration how the actual meaning of words in the different languages. So HSC is very concerned about this issue. So we try to also show the student how, even when they are using AI, the types of prompts, and then they need to be able to verify their work. So we realize that if they are trained, students are trained effectively, then you can minimize some of this risk.
So the initiative that we've developed, which has been really successful, is a community of practice, the creation of a community of practice. With this, we recognise that knowledge doesn't rest just with one person or a small group of experts, but that there are lots of people across the university that are cultivating different capacities. So through our community of practice, we meet once a month. We invite people to suggest topics that they might like to share based on their own practice. 15 minutes of the session is spent on discussing or presenting something that's being done, something innovative. It might be how they're approaching an innovative assessment. It might be a concern they're raising about an equity issue. It might be their experience with trialling a new tool. And on the basis of that, we then have an open discussion about how we might apply what we've heard to our own situations and contexts, or to interrogate some of the problems or concerns that have come up from that initial presentation. And then in subsequent sessions, people suggest what they might like to contribute. So this has been a really good way of capitalising in a very democratic fashion on the expertise across the university in AI. From these communities of practice, we've become really aware of some amazing work that's being done in different schools. And one of the contributions that our consortium piece we'll add is a case study of some practices using AI simulation in the Graduate School of Business. They're using simulations to help in management and leadership units. So we hope that looking at this practice within the broader context of the work that we're doing will provide some additional illumination.
So this is something which is new to all of us. AI just started revolutionizing the world. So we still have to think upon how we can make sure that students do not cross the ethics laid down for the usage of AI. In fact, one of the tasks of our proposal is to lay down some ethical standards so that the AI usage is not in a wrong direction by the students. That is one thing we are still exploring. And other thing is, as instructors, we can come up with strategies which will bypass the AI in the evaluations that we conduct at the universities. So we need to be creative to how we can bypass AI in the assignments we give to the students.
Now your university is part of the WISE IIE Research Consortium. So what specific aspects of AI is your university focusing on in this project? And how do you believe this project will contribute to solving these global challenges that we've been discussing?
At Camilo José Cela University, we are concerned about the skills and competencies that our students are going to have when they leave the university. So we have a competencies profile for the SEC students. And based on that, or with that idea in mind, we focus about how to improve the activities that we have in our curricula and combine that activities or that work that the students need to do at their lessons to improve that competencies in that project with AI. So that was the main idea, and all this project came from that part. So the focus in the research consortium in WISE is how to improve curricular in the age of AI. Now that we are having all these changes, what are going to be the characteristics or features that these activities need to have to improve all these competencies and critical thinking in students? The research aims to highlight all these activities that we can prepare as teachers and how we can rethink activities using AI, and also how to measure all these improvements in digital materials that we are creating as teachers, and how to measure critical thinking in students to develop their skills and competencies. So we have different focus on how they are using also ethically AI in that kind of activities. We prepare different measurement instruments to make sure that we are gathering data and we are assessing all the activities in the right way, just trying to provide evidence and different drafts that teachers are going to be able to use in different institutions to use it and apply to their lessons or subjects. So I think it's going to be a huge project with so many possibilities at the level of students, teachers, and also institutions in the way that you can use all this information that we are going to have.
So UPenn has really two projects in this program. The one that I'm the PI on looks at the civic and social implications of AI use, not just at a place like Penn, which is a well-resourced, exclusive, in many ways elite institution, but how Penn is implicitly and explicitly advancing AI use, and how does that compare to institutions that have a much more open access mission, sort of first generation, often low-income students, often from very diverse backgrounds, and how are those universities advancing and supporting AI use? And are there differences between institutions that have different missions, different resources, and what are the implications for our students in terms of equity and inclusion, not just in higher education, but beyond in the workforce? So, I think some of the questions that we really need to think about aren't being asked yet. It's AI use beyond what's happening in the classroom. There are conversations that I see in the corporate sector around AI and governance, for example, AI and strategy, and we've not yet figured out what are the applications of those tools in the higher ed space. I think there's a missed opportunity here, but we need some additional attention given to those levels of issues.
Our project is quite ambitious, involves the whole of the community of Universidad de los Andes. I think one of the main aspects we aim to highlight is the mismatch between the needs of students, the faculty members, and the what we call the real sector, the industry, in using AI. I think these three groups of people have different expectations and needs on the usefulness and of these tools. Given that we aim to understand the mismatches in needs and expectations, we're very keen on the consortium level to identify how globally this plays out. Our intuition is that there are inequalities in the access to AI that are not only driven by the technical aspects of it, but also by those non-material aspects, like the needs, expectations, ethical considerations, etc.
First of all, contribution, several. I can mention two. For instance, now this consortium is going to raise and going to come up with new questions that need to be addressed with the use of AI. What other people have called the next generation questions when it comes to AI use. From our HSC perspective, what we are trying to do is to look at, we're working with 3 different institutions, and they are diverse, actually. We are looking at the biggest university in Ghana, and then also a technical university. And we want to find out their experience with the use of AI. And then in terms of also industry, what are some of the gaps that universities need to try to intentionally build, so that our students will also become relevant in the global workforce. So we are not trying to just be adopters of AI, but also trying to develop the skills that can also create AI tools that may be used in industry.
From BITS Pilani, we are trying to contribute by studying the usage of generative AI specifically among the students as well as the faculty of various educational institutions across the country, not just ours, but various educational institutions across the country. Then we are also looking at how the leaders of the country feel in terms of the ethical policies that need to be framed regarding the usage of AI. And the third thing we are looking is how generative AI is impacting the employability of students from the employer perspective as well as from the student's perspective.
We think that our research is really going to address the issue of how AI can be integrated into the curriculum in higher education. And we want to do this by, first of all, providing a broader institutional perspective that looks at what is the faculty perspectives on AI usage, how is that AI usage valued, what are the concerns that faculty may have about AI usage, what influences their decisions to integrate AI or not, and what are the challenges they might face with the integration of that AI. Finally, we'd like to get some insights into how faculty see the impact on student learning. In terms of methodology, the first part of our research will be a mixed methods research. It will include a survey of faculty to understand and explore their attitudes, their perspectives, and the challenges that they experience. That will be followed up with qualitative interviews to pursue some of the themes that come through the quantitative data collection. The second part of our contribution will then look at a specific example of how AI is being integrated into the curriculum in the Graduate School of Business. And in particular, it will explore the use of AI to simulate scenarios in relation to leadership in 2 master's programs. What I think our research can contribute to the consortium is access to voices to broaden the Western-dominated influence in AI research. We don't consider ourselves part of the global South as such. We represent a Central Asian perspective, but we think that research which contributes experiences from across the globe is a really valuable aspect of this consortium. Part of that is also enabling consideration of the impact of AI for people for whom English is not the first language. So our students are English as second, third, or more language users. And so I think having some insights into how this is integrated into a context of diverse language users will really provide some new ways of understanding AI in higher education. What I'm really hoping is that through the consortium, we'll generate some knowledge which really tackles some of the issues around access to AI in higher education, the attitudes of people, faculty, students, broader community, employers, and that we need to consider how we assist people in higher education to be at the cutting edge, to be able to provide the best learning experiences for students. I think it's really important that this research looks at how we ensure that no one is left behind through the integration of AI. And that for me means how do we keep our faculty up to speed so that they can provide the best education for students? And how do we ensure that different groups of the population are not left behind through lack of access to AI or through their age, so that we really reduce marginalisation, that we make this better for all people.
We also had a chance to speak to Mirka Martel, Head of Research Evaluation and Learning at IIE, who is also leading this consortium alongside WISE.
IIE and WISE are so excited to be working together on the Research Consortium for AI and Higher Education for a Global Workforce. We came together as two incredible organizations doing work around international education and higher education, and really understanding that the time is now to look at how artificial intelligence or AI is shaping how education is being taught, how students are learning, and then what skills those students are gaining as they're going into the workforce. We have worked together on an incredible group of partners that are global, spanning global North and global South cooperation, really understanding their contexts and working together to understand the research that we're going to learn. One of the things I've been telling the partners that is so important is to learn from each other. What research are we collecting, and what can we then learn across these different contexts so that what we bring to the field is comparative research, is research that we can then think about through these different contexts and look at use cases or effective practices that we're beginning to really collect.
And there you have it. You've heard from various members of WISE's Global Research Consortium discussing their groundbreaking study on AI in higher education. We look forward to following their progress and sharing the findings with you when they're presented at the WISE 12 Summit on 24-25 November. Thank you for tuning in to WISE on Air, and we'll be back soon with another conversation on the future of education. So don't forget to subscribe to WISE on Air on your favorite podcast platform to stay updated on what's coming next.